was going to say, I thought there was more cards than that. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Cups upright, with the Queen of Wands upright, the Hermit reversed, and the Strength reversed. Now, interestingly, the Nine of Cups is upright, so that is about self-satisfaction, being contented within oneself. Okay, so you are feeling good at the moment. Queen of Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarian energy. It's upright, so your solar plexus is activated, you're feeling confident, you're feeling assertive, could be feeling attractive, very, very motivated, going for what you want, sitting in your power. You could be coming off a little bit intimidating to people at the moment because you're very confident. It's heavy Sagittarian energy. In a love reading, it doesn't always have to mean this, but the Queen of Wands can mean someone who's the third party, so like the other man, the other woman, where there's a marriage or relationship. The Hermit card is reversed. That's a major arcana for Virgo. When the Hermit's upright, it means we're in isolation, we're holding ourselves back, we're being introspective, doing some shadow work, thinking about the past, thinking about our part in things, thinking about their part in things. When it's reversed, there may be a need for some shadow work, or you may have just come out of shadow work. The Strength card is reversed, so that's another major arcana. It's the major arcana for Leo. It's your major arcana. You are showing up reversed. Okay, so you could be feeling a bit emotional. The thing is, right, I don't really get that, because normally I'd say, oh, I'm not feeling emotionally strong if the Strength card's reversed, but feelings-wise, you look pretty content. So maybe this is you being like over emotional, like over the top happy about something. Maybe you've started to see someone and they're not strictly available, but it's making you very, very happy. That's just a maybe, okay? Let's get two more. Bit of an interesting combo there. Thank you for the likes, guys. Thank you. We've got the Seven of Wands reversed. Now, the Seven of Wands, when it's upright, is being competitive, feeling like we've got the advantage, the high ground, the upper hand. When it's reversed, we don't feel that way, okay? So that kind of makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? Like, we're not feeling like we're in control of this situation and it's something we really care about. We could be feeling like at a disadvantage. Hi, Stacey. There's a guy interested in me, but I'm not sure if I should give him a chance. His friends give me weird glances all the time. What sign are you, Stacey? Hi, Harith Sport Coaching. Hi, Ghoulie Boolie. Castori. I hope I said that right. Hi, Psyduck. Obsessedly. Well, you're supposed to watch your sign or the sign of your person. These aren't live Q&As. Or you can ask for a private reading. I can do you one of these love spreads. It'll be 45 minutes for £18. The turnover time is 24 hours this week because it's half term and I'm off. I'm a full-time high school teacher, but I'm off this week because it's half term. So yeah, there's no like waiting time. He's a Scorpio and you're a Virgo. Okay, so I'm going to be doing Virgo after this. So that should resonate. If you, I don't know if you want to pop back in like 40 minutes because I do quite long readings, you see. So you might want to go for half an hour and come back. Unless you've got Leo in your chart. I don't know if you'll pass your maths. I don't answer questions like that normally. I do career education and finance, but that's not tonight. This is love readings, the collective love readings by zodiac sign. So you watch the sign if you're person and watch your sign as well. King of Swords reversed. So we've got Leo, you're showing up as not in your like highest version of yourself, even though you're contented, something's making you happy. I think you're seeing someone, but you feel at a loss, you feel not great about like there's something about the situation that has you like at a disadvantage. Okay, and often that can be the case when you develop feelings for someone and yet you're not in control of how things are going. It's not a nice feeling, is it? You know, if you can't control the pace of something, if it's not going the way you want it to, or it's a complicated situationship, it's going to feel almost like a burden to have those emotions for someone. Like you almost wish you didn't care the way that you do, because your heart's getting hurt. So with the King of Swords, if the King of Swords was upright, that would be air energy, and swords are communication and thoughts. It's heavy Aquarius energy. It's Gemini, Libra, Aquarian energy. It's to do with the truth, to do with honesty, justice. You know, please don't lie to me. Like that sword's in front of this person's face. They're sitting in their power. And the sword is between you and them. You know, it's closed off body language, like defensive, blocking, because this person, you know, likes to stand for what's right, what's true. It's a humanitarian energy concerned with justice and, you know, using knowledge. Knowledge is power. Research, you know, being strategic, intelligent, intellectual. When it's reversed, that kind of silver-tongued aspect, we could be using that against others. You know, whenever a card is reversed, it's like the negative aspect of having a silver tongue would be that we could lie to people or twist the truth or omit truths, leave things out that are quite important, or yeah, be manipulative, be calculating. We may also block people, okay? So actually blocking people off apps, off social media, WhatsApp, whatever, Facebook, whatever people use, Snapchat, or just ignoring messages, letting them come through but not reading them. I think you've stopped talking to someone, you've blocked them because you're not happy with how things are going. You've got all these feelings for someone and you're not happy with how it's progressing. but maybe they're already taken, I don't know. Oh, your mum's friend does tarot, that's cool. Yeah, I wasn't into tarot. I'd never thought I would be, to be honest. But I'm into it since lockdown when I was like 35. I'm 40 now. I think it's something you get, unless there's someone in your family that does tarot or is really into tarot and you've been exposed to it, you don't really, I don't think you like relate to it much, until sort of later in life. And you don't need to really, to be honest, but there are more young people getting into it now because of TikTok and stuff. Right, let's get some cards for Leo's person. Who's showing up for Leo? I sound 25, do I? I don't look 25, I'll tell you that now. The Fool upright. So this is Aries energy. The Fool is someone, you see the 0 at the top. This is someone that's ready for a reset. They're ready to jump, take a leap of faith, jump off that cliff edge into a new chapter, blindly, just trusting that everything should just turn out all right. It's a foolish thing to do, right? To just jump in. Oh, you're a tarot reader as well, Stacey. So there could be an Aries that you're dealing with. There's a lot of fire energy here. They're excited. They want to take a leap of faith into a new chapter. Let's get 2 more for them. Yeah, I don't trust my own. I don't do readings for myself because I don't trust them. I feel like I'm gonna think about the cards that I want and they'll come out, like I'll draw them out. So I watch like other readers for my own readings. I don't trust it. Because I think that because when I do readings, if I say, oh, I'd expect this card to come out or that card to come out, or I would need this card, if I like talk about it and think about it, that card then comes out. So I feel like I've got some sort of powers of like, I don't know, kinesthetics or something. Like I'm pulling out cards because I'm picturing them and visualizing them. I don't know what you call that. ESP or something. 4 of Cups upright. 7 of Pentacles upright. 4 of Swords upright. There's a lot of pause for thought here. Much needed respite, reflecting on the past, what's been cultivated so far, closed off emotionally to love. Coming out from the cold in terms of like love or lack of finances. Ignoring a judgment call, a call to act. King of Wands, reversed. This is a divine counterpart. You've got matching suits, so they're the King of Wands, you're the Queen of Wands. Interesting. Someone's looking back at the past and they want to come out from the cold. They don't feel good. That's really interesting. So I'm not thinking as if this is a third party situation now. I think you know what, this could be a married couple if you're the king and queen of wands. Kings and queens are more mature. That doesn't mean that you definitely married. You could be two people that have lived together, or you match really, really well. You could both happen to be fire signs also, but the way that the tarot reads is that you are soulmates. But I think you've already had a connection and you've fallen out with each other because you look like, you've got like this, like, I'm contented within myself. However, I feel at a disadvantage in this situation and I'm no longer speaking to my person. They want to start some sort of new chapter. They're not interested in offers from anyone else. They're reflective. They've taken time out to think. They want to come out from the cold. They don't feel good with things how things are. Let's get one more for them. It's quite cute, really, if that's what's happened. You could be in a relationship, like a serious relationship, and you've had a really big bust up. Hi TW 1972. You're a rising Capricorn. Capricorn I'll do tomorrow. Just because it's like 4 hours of tarot tonight. So that'll be Leo, Virgo, Libra and Scorpio tonight. The Emperor. This could be an Aries, because you've got the Fool and you've got the Emperor for them. Wow, the Emperor is upright. It's all four kings. This is someone who's very high value. The King of Wands is, someone highly ambitious, highly assertive, type A personality. You're showing up as the Queen of Wands, ambitious, type A personality, likes to, be dominant, take control. And it doesn't dictate gender, king and queen. It's more like being fire signs. You are assertive and you are quite egocentric, but you're stoic, you're ambitious. But a Queen of Wands is slightly more on the feminine energy, so they're always considering how things affect everyone else. A King of Wands would be more on the masculine energy, so they're still a very nurturing person. However, they may be inclined to make decisions for the greater good, even if it's at the detriment of the people in the household. They will make the tough decisions for the greater good. Okay, so slightly more masculine energy, slightly more feminine, but we all have both. We just might move into a more masculine energy or move into a slightly more feminine energy at different times for different reasons. But so this is also the King of Pentacles, a fantastic provider. Okay, someone who's very much concerned with getting the bills paid. They know their responsibilities. They're highly responsible. Good material wealth, savings, enjoys, to spend on others as well. The King of Cups, someone who's intelligent, emotionally intelligent, wise, calm, patient, forgiving. someone who's, able to express emotions and keep balanced emotions. Who have I missed? The King of Swords. The King of Swords is intelligent, intellectual, does their research. Nothing's done on a whim, everything's planned, strategic. Life is a chess game. By the time something is actuated, it's been in the pipeline for several months beforehand. Fantastic orator and writer, public speaker. Is a very high value person, and they're in a narrative like this card would be someone who's taking leadership. So someone wants to take a leap of faith into a brand new chapter. They're your counterpart, they're a soulmate of yours. They've really taken the time to think about it, and they're stepping up, they're in their power. It's quite sexy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how that's going to go down with you, because you're a fire sign, so when fire meets fire, that's either going to be good or it's going to be a clash. I mean, we'll see. I hope you want this person. Maybe you don't want them anymore. You've either just had a fallout with them, or, you don't want to be with them, let's say. In the outcome, we've got a soulmate card. It's the Six of Cups. So in the centre, we've got the clover leaf, but it's a four-leafed clover, so this is extra lucky. This is how we feel when we find our person, when we find someone that feels like home. We feel like, they are our soulmate. We're supposed to have a relationship, live together, get married if that's what we want, have children if that's what we want. We feel like this is our soulmate, this is our divine counterpart. So that's upright, and that's in the outcome. So that's very positive. It's feelings of nostalgia. The cups are accrued over many years. Yeah, Scorpio will be the last one that I do, so it'll be in a couple of hours. The Ace of Pentacles, guys. This is incredibly positive. I think the Emperor is coming to offer you, this is a financial opportunity. It's a big deal. This will be like, okay, you've been wanting to get engaged, you've been wanting to get remarried, you've been wanting to buy a house together, you've been wanting to, I don't know, move abroad together. This is some sort of like something financial, something fiscal that we've wanted, that's being offered to us, and it's going to level up the relationship, take it to the next level. It could be, like, okay, let's have a baby together, because, that costs money. It's a financial leveling up, so it's to do with property or taking something to the next stage. Pentacles are money, okay? They're investments of time, money, and energy. And an ace is a large amount of money, time, and energy. So this is a huge commitment that's being offered by an emperor. So my advice would be take it. If you love this person. Okay, so also in the outcome, we've got the Justice reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed. So the Justice is the major arcana for Libra. It's about things being fair, right, just, correct, even, equal. And the Page of Pentacles, if it were upright, would be someone that is looking to invest, you know, some time, some money, some energy into a relationship. Pages are at the start of a journey, okay? With that being reversed, something's unfair, something's unjust. Like, maybe they've sensed that you don't want this leveling up. Maybe they feel like you feel pressured, or you're happy with things how they are, or you actually want to separate. Maybe you want to separate, maybe you want to divorce, and they're like wanting to level up, which is kind of sad, really. Let's get messages from them. So if you're not in contact with them at the moment, let's see what they would say to you. See, they would say, emotional intimacy. I'm afraid to truly open up to you. Being raw and authentic with my emotions is something that I'm still working on. You're so special. You're truly divine. I've never felt energy like yours before, and I can't get enough. See, that's what they'd say to you. But I'm a little bit like, I feel like I need to know what's going on with you. And I don't normally clarify your side, Leo, but there's some sort of call to action that they're ignoring, or they were, and now they're taking leadership, but something feels unfair. Oof. Why is the King of Wands reversed, please? Why is the King of Wands reversed? So possibly I'm clarifying your relationship with them, okay? Because normally it's someone coming in the future, or someone that you're struggling with, that you've not quite had a relationship with, and I clarify what's gone on with them in the past, you know, and this is what's dictating their decision making and stuff, like their past experiences with others. But I feel like this is an active marriage or relationship, a soulmate union that's already in place, and it looks like you want to leave for some reason. But I mean, it's not showing me the Three of Swords or the Eight of Cups, but there's like a sense of wanting to withdraw or not wanting to invest. Then we've got the Nine of Cups, like, I'm happy with things how they are. And this person's like, but I want to level up. So, you know, that happens, doesn't it? Sometimes it's not that you split up, but you can't agree on where's this relationship going and what are the goals. Have we got the same things that we want, or do we want different things? And therefore, even though we're in love, love isn't enough to kind of keep us together, because one of us wants marriage, the other doesn't. One of us wants children, the other doesn't. One of us wants to live in this country, the other one wants to live in that country. You know, by default, it's not that you don't love each other or the love has stopped, but it's not always enough, is it? You have to be wanting to work towards the same goals. Vicious circle, pattern of relationship issues, bad habits, and no-win situation. Moonlit unity, use understanding to have greater emotional balance. putting on a show, tantric sex, court, uncovering evidence, getting exposed, cheating revealed. Ooh. See, putting on a show could mean, like, on the face of it, you're the picture perfect couple, or you're the picture perfect family, or you're the picture perfect, married spouses. But then, see, someone said to me, oh, like, Buddha, shouldn't be on there because Buddha doesn't have sex. And I think it means people that aren't actually consummating the relationship, the marriage anymore. They're not being physical. Okay, it's more like two hearts and two minds, isn't it? But yeah, one of you could have cheated. Let me just open a window. It's boiling in here. I've got a big heavy jumper on. I'll turn the heating off, actually. Oh, that's so much better. Self-love. Love yourself. Loving you, taking back control, finally being happy. Ooh. Oh, what's this one? A situation is about to explode. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think that the feelings are mutual here. It's not a situation where both of you want to be together. One of you wants to withdraw investment, okay? The other one wants to secure and level things up, not even maintain, but level up. So, and it's to the point where, feelings are being explored with other people. So that is not a good situation to stay stuck in. You've got to tell the other person, haven't you, Leo, that this isn't what you want. You've moved on, haven't you? Oh god. We were supposed to be us, not just you and me. Oh. Damn. What's the nature of this connection, please? Deepening. A relationship will finally deepen in the next few months. You've been waiting for this. Oof. That's what they think. gonna be the opposite. I don't want them, I want these. Wait. They're waiting for you. We've got waiting. Oh, God. Just so on, like, opposite, like, wavelengths completely. Like, you are reading from different hymns, different books, different libraries. Oh my God. Let's get a confession from them. I feel like you can see right through me. God. This person's heart and soul is, like, on the line. They're wearing their heart on their sleeve. They want to make a huge grand gesture. They're fully committed. They want a new chapter. And they don't know, like, that you are going to ask to separate. You're going to ask to withdraw. I mean, it is what it is. It's never fun to break that kind of news to someone, but the sooner the better. Definitely don't start getting involved with anyone else. If you have done, sort your shit out, like, sort things out first. If you don't resist. You need to resist from pursuing someone else before you've told this person. You need to tell this person. You really do. Health issues could arise. I mean, that could be anything. It could be mental health. It could be STIs. It could be, someone being under the weather. Look, you never know what's going on with someone's health. It could be completely separate too, like they get run down, they get the flu, they feel vulnerable, and then you feel like a shit, like breaking up with them. It doesn't have to be something awful, but even if someone became very, very unwell, that would not be a reason that you then stay with them, because you don't give up your own truth. You don't give up your own authenticity. You obviously would be sympathetic to someone if they became unwell, especially if they became seriously unwell. But if you're not in love with them and you were going to leave them, you wouldn't stay with them because you're not in love with them, but they're not well now, because it's still not living authentically. You deserve to live authentically. That would just be awful luck, wouldn't it? Like, if you stay with someone, it doesn't change the fact that they're unwell. You're just a comfort blanket for them. Like, whatever's going to happen to them is going to happen to them. But you would have to find a way to just still be authentic and be like, this is horrendous timing, however. And they're going to have to reach out to friends and family for support. They can't make someone be with them because they're not well. If you were going to split up anyway, you were going to split up anyway. It's shitty timing, but do you know what I mean? That could be a cold. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying like someone's going to die or anything. It's just what you need to be aware of there is people can suffer from chronic stress, and part of not living authentically and trying to keep up a pretense or a lie or a facade, trying to put on a show for social media's sake to stop the tongues wagging because you're terrified of judgment or gossip. that is gonna stress you out, because inside you know that you're not happy. So it could be your health as well as theirs. Just be mindful of that. Coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savouring the moment, feeling uplifted, friendship. Yeah, like they've got a network that they can reach out to. You've got a network that you can reach out to. So it's not really about, oh, this person only has me and, all they live for is me and they'll never like recover without me. It's not like that, is it? It's never like that. Yes, you're significant to them, but so are lots of other people. Focus. Focus your energy. Your intentions hold great power. Threads. Weave the threads of your dreams. Your thoughts shape your reality. You need to focus on what it is that you want. You need to be clear and honest about what it is that you want. If you're going to reject this person, you need to do it quickly. Yes, you've got to be mindful of how you do it, and it's never easy. It's not, but it's just one of those things of life. It's just a fact of life that you're gonna have to, break a heart, but they will mend and they deserve to be with someone that isn't gonna move their hand away from theirs. They deserve to be with someone that isn't gonna turn away when they go to kiss them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not really like you're saving them by continuing to live with them and nurse them through whatever, or live with them and kind of like think, well, I'm being the good dad or the good mum doing that, because you're not. People know. People know. They can feel it when you're not into them anymore. They can feel it. They can feel lonely with inside a marriage, with inside a relationship quite easily, quite quickly, to the point where it's really incapacitating and horrible. So don't think that you're doing anyone any favours by living a lie. You're not. Nothing worse than realising someone's doing that. Subconscious mind. I realise that subconscious beliefs or programs may be holding me back from my desires. For example, if I want money, I may have been told things growing up that I'm subconsciously holding on to. So I go back to my past and release beliefs that no longer align, substituting them with ones that do. So another example would be if you've been told that we've never had divorce in our family, or we don't date outside of our religion in this family. You've got to think for yourself. You've got to live your life authentically and be in love with who you're in love with. You've got to stop worrying about certain beliefs that have been ingrained into your kind of family by your parents or people that have had like a big impact in your foundational years, or whatever pressures you put on yourself. A lot of people pressurize themselves and they say, well, I'm only going to get married once, and I'm never going to like fail my marriage. Marriage isn't failure. Okay, if a marriage isn't working, it isn't working. if a relationship or a job isn't working out, it's not working out. It's not a failure, is it? How is that a failure? It just is what it is. Like, he tried, he gave it 100%. If it's still not working after that, that's just the situation. um, it's just a fact of life. Projecting, rather than reacting and projecting my emotions onto others, I remember no one is to blame. That's weird because that's just exactly what I was saying. No one is responsible for the emotions that I feel. When someone says or does something that brings up strong emotions within me, I have the choice in how I respond. Okay, so maybe try to avoid, you are a fireside, avoid saying whatever's on the tip of your tongue, or looking at someone a kind of way, or being kind of, that display of aggression that a lion can show. You can be very intimidating and you can be very hot-headed, or think really carefully. Because even if you think you're being really good in how you leave this connection or say what you want to say, that person going to be upset. They're not going to take the news well because they're not thinking how you're thinking and they're not feeling how you're feeling. So it's going to really upset them and trigger them. But just really bite your tongue and really try to unclench and like breathe and be the bigger person, because people can't be expected when they're that upset to be like the perfect version of themselves. It isn't going to be pretty, is it? If they love you this much and they were wanting to level up and you're wanting to withdraw, it's not going to be pretty. But it's a time to impress yourself with how you handle it. See it as a challenge to sort of like really do this the right way and handle it as well as possible. Like, see how much you can impress yourself with it. And you think someone's never going to forgive you, you think someone's never going to get past you or never move on, but they do. They think they won't, but they will. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a fact. We can't apologise for everything, that's ever happened to that person, or like everything that's going to happen to them in the future. You go into relationships, with the best of intentions, and unfortunately, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. There's not a lot more anyone can expect of you. It's choice to be in a relationship. It's choice to be in a friendship. It's a privilege. It's not a right. And people think they have a right over other people, and they don't. If one of you doesn't want to be there anymore, they can't keep you there. Delight. The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy. Joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. So, yeah, you're not going to be like the best version of yourself as long as you're kind of living a lie, putting on a show. Once you sort this, it's not going to be pretty, like when it happens. It'll feel shit for a while after. But then you'll be able to live authentically, and the freedom and the knowledge that you're now in control of your own future and what happens next, and you get back on track. And that you're not lying to that person anymore. Like, it's more respectful, isn't it, to be honest? It's more respectful to give them a chance to be with someone that wants to spoil them and like wants to hold their hand and wants to kiss them. Like, Everyone's vibrations will be raised again eventually because they'll all be living authentically. You will, they will. The people around you will be happier because they'll see that you're happier. The people around them will be happier because they'll see that they're happier. This is a moment in time. So nothing good comes from staying in something that you know you don't want to be in. Okay, things just get worse. They get toxic. Everyone becomes unhappy. Integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonise in a balanced symphony of life. That is so amazing. I love that. You know, in philosophy and ethics, there's like an argument, isn't there, that you can't have good without evil, you can't have light without dark, you can't have heaven without hell, because one gives context to the other. They're relative to one another. How do you know when you're supposed to be really appreciative when something really good happens? If it's good all the time, then it's not good. It just is whatever normal is, isn't it? If something's really shitty, and it starts to not be as shit anymore, it feels good because it's relative to, what's bad is good. Like, we know that we're moving away from what bad is, and if bad wasn't a thing, then we wouldn't feel. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm not articulating myself well, but you can't have one without the other. They would cease to exist. Okay, they give each other context. So we just have to learn to take life's rough with the smooth, because that's when we appreciate, like when things are going really, really well, or things are calm and there isn't drama. That's when we get to appreciate after when times are hard. I know what I mean anyway. We have to take life's rough with the smooth. It's what gives life meaning. And we do the most growth in times of challenge. Things will be really, really tough for a long time because even if you're the one that ends the relationship, that person's meant a lot to you. I can tell that this has been a connection that's meant a lot, okay, from the fact that you're the king and queen of wands, the fact that you're a matching suit, the fact that you are probably mature, you probably own a home, you may have got married, you may have children. Even if you haven't any of those things and you rented a place together, it's years of your life spent together, soulmates. So it's gonna hurt. Like, this amount of change is going to hurt. It's not going to be comfortable to undo it. It's not going to be comfortable to think about the good times. One day you'll think about the good times and it won't hurt, but for a long time it hurts. And you should think about all the bad times as well, especially those last conversations. Very, very tough. Ancient wisdom will find you. Listen for the whispers of the past. See, someone on the other side, they might, like, send you a little message of support or make some sort of signal to you to let you know that they're in support of you, like what you're going through, and they're aware of it. A hidden talent will soon be discovered. Nurture it. Okay, so I don't know what you're good at, Leo, but it's something that you haven't mastered yet, or something that you haven't discovered about yourself yet. You're going to come into a new kind of hobby or passion, and You could become more spiritual, but it could be something like very practical, you know, or intellectual rather than spiritual. I don't know. But you've been encouraged to kind of follow that further. Let's get you an angel number. Ooh, 1515, the big break. An opportunity, help, extra cash, or other support is coming your way, so keep going and have fun when performing your tasks. The most tremendous success comes from passion. All efforts will be rewarded big time. Well, that is fantastic. So although you're coming out of a very serious connection and you're going through a lot in that way, you're about to discover that you're amazing at something. It's something you haven't discovered yet, and you're going to have tremendous success from it. See, that's brilliant, you know. Couldn't have asked for something better, really, for a way to end the reading, because it is quite a difficult reading, this one. If you liked this reading, if it does resonate, please can you give it a like, share it with people that you know who are also Leos or dealing with a Leo. It might resonate for them as well. Yeah, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, hype the channel, and I will see you in the next one, Leo. Okay, so we're going on to Virgo.